Hey guys, it's Brandy. I'm here to share with you guys a card that I made using the Paper Nest Dolls Avery and Rain Poncho set. And this is the first time I'm ever recording a video and doing a voiceover, so bear with me as I'm learning. So I'm taking out my Stamp Perfect tool. I love this tool. It's similar to the Misty and the Tim Holtz stamping tool, but they no longer sell this one in stores, sadly, so I got it just in time before they took it off. So here I am placing my paper onto the platform and using magnets to hold it in place. Then I'm placing the stamp where I want it to be onto the paper, and you can position it just right on where you want it. So there's that. And then once you got it in place, go ahead and just close the door and press down and it'll lift up the stamp. And this way you could stamp it multiple times if you want. So like here I am inking it with Memento ink. And this ink is really Copic friendly, so I love using this ink. And then I just press down on it just like a regular stamp and it'll stamp it there. And I noticed that it didn't stamp all the way, so I'm going ahead and re-inking it, which is awesome with this tool. And just pressing down again. And then you can always press down if it didn't get a certain part. So once that's done, I just take the paper out and it's all stamped. And then I use my stamp chamois that my mother-in-law got me from Lawn Fawn. It's amazing. And I'm using that to clean off my stamps. And all you do is add water to it, and you can use it multiple times. It was all like greenish blue. Now it's like black because of all the ink I've used on it. So this foam piece here is good for clear stamps, which I will share with you, I believe, later. But for rubber stamps and cling stamps, you don't need the black foam piece. So I'm going to be starting my coloring now using Copic markers. Copics are one of my favorites to use. And as I'm coloring, I will be sharing with you the colors that I use while stamping this. Here I'm using B01, which is mint blue, and I use that to color up her dress. And I'm going to speed up the coloring, that way you don't have to watch it as I'm going, and it's a very slow process. So coloring is one of the best parts of stamping, I think. If you can't afford Copics, because Copics are one of the pricier ones, there are Spectrum markers that are cheaper. But I find that Copics color really well, and I've just stuck with those. I haven't tried Spectrums yet. And I'm not a pro at coloring, so I may not be doing it exactly right, but this is the way I do it. And I do uncap both ends, because I find that sometimes when I'm coloring, if I only uncapped one end, sometimes I'll get a big ink splotch due to pressure built up inside the marker. And here I switched to, I believe it was B06 Peacock Blue, and I'm using that to color in the dots. But I find that if you only uncap one end, sometimes pressure is built up and then a big glob of ink comes out. So I just uncap both ends. It's just a habit that I've just done. It doesn't harm it if you uncap both ends. And then here I'm using B04, which is Tahitian Blue. And I'm using that to do the highlights on the dress, like the creases, to add a little bit of dimension to it. And I do it like around her hair and all that. That way it creates like a shadow. And here I am speeding it up again. But they're really nice markers. You can blend them. And then I'm working on the hat here. And then I go back over with the B01 to kind of blend it out. That way it's not just like dark and then goes to light. So I kind of blend it out here. And again, I'm speeding it up for you. Hopefully I'm not speeding it up too fast. And then I forgot to do her boots as I was coloring with those colors, so I'm going back with the colors and doing her boots with the same colors as I used for the dress. So you don't have to color it blue, you can color it whatever color you want. get creative. I just picked out blue because I really like the colors. And then now I'm going to start on her skin tone. Her skin tone, I am using YR00 powder pink. And then for like highlights, for like to create like shadows and dimension, I'm using E11 barley. And now I'm just highlighting around her face to create a shadow from her hair. And then now comes the hair, which I'm using E23 hazelnut and E39 for her hair. So, and you can color their hair whatever color you want. You can do like pink or purple. You don't have to do like the normal brown and blonde and black hair. You could do whatever colors you want. So, and everyone colors differently. It's nice to watch tutorials on how to color with these markers. Some people find them challenging to work with, but I really like them so far, so I haven't had any issues with them. Plus, these Copic markers are refillable, and you can replace the tips on them if they get worn down. These sketch markers have two different tips, but I always tend to use the, I believe it's not the chisel, but the brush end. So I'm going back over the dress, or no, I forgot the hair barrette. I forgot that part. So I'm going back over it with the colors of the dress again. That way it's all matchy. So, but I love the Copic markers so far. They are quite pricey, so I always get them with coupons. So my husband gets in line sometimes with me, which is fun, and he picks out a marker as well. That way he can use a coupon, and that way it builds up my stash faster. So now I'm going to start on the ducks, and I'm coloring them using the Y13 lemon, and then I'm also using Y19 and YR23 for the ducks. And again, you guys can always color them whatever color you want, but these are the colors that I used. And I know some people really enjoy seeing the colors that you use, so that's why I kind of shared them in the video, kind of slowed it down right around the color that I chose, in case you guys wanted to know, and copy the same image or use the same colors on ducks or whatever. So once I color the ducks, and I got those all colored, I'm using T1 Toner Gray #1, and I'm just creating a border around her and around the ducks to create some type of like dimension to kind of like make her like pop off the card a little bit. That way it's just not like her being like on the card flat. I kind of seen somebody else do this in a video, so I decided to try it out. And I was a little nervous trying it out because I had just got done coloring it, and I was like, oh no, if this doesn't turn out, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start all over. So now I'm done coloring, so now I'm going to start cutting it, and I got this Creative Memories paper trimmer at a garage sale. So, and I absolutely love it. It's a rotary blade. So it like rotates as it cuts, which is nice because then you aren't using the same spot every time when you're cutting. And here I'm using my Elmer's little tape runner to add adhesive on the back of it to place it onto the black cardstock as a background for the card. So I just place it there. And then I use my paper trimmer again to trim off the excess. And some people might actually have like pre-cut like card backings and everything, but my cards are so random on the size that I don't even do that right now. So I'm going in with my precision pen that I got at Tuesday morning, and I'm doing some little rain droplets because I don't have a stamp that has rain droplets, and I decided to make my own. So this precision pen, it comes with a pack. It's a pack that I can get at Tuesday morning. I actually bought extra, and they're by American Crafts, and I love these pens. They are absolutely amazing. I use them for journaling and everything. So then I go over the rain droplets with my B01 rain or blue marker, and to make them look like they're water, so I go over those. And then after I do that, I break out my my Close to My Heart stamp set that I have, and I'm using the Treasure Life's Little Moments stamp from that. And the stamp set is D1306. It's Treasure Life, and it's by Close to My Heart again. So I'm going to have to use this black foam piece for this stamp because it's a clear stamp, so it needs more. It doesn't have the thick foam piece on the back of it, so you need it so that it will stamp all the way and you can read it. So I just place that in there, right where I want it, press down on it, and then I use my Memento ink again and ink it up. And then you just swing the lid over and press down, and voila, you have the cover, or the title, your little sentiment. And I just wipe it off with my stamp chamois again. So here I thought I was done with the card, but I decided to add a little bit of Wink Stella, and it's a glitter pen, and they come in multiple colors. I really like the clear one, so I would definitely recommend that. And it's just glitter, that's all it is. I'm adding glitter to her raincoat and her rain hat and her boots to kind of highlight it being like wet from the rain. So that's what I've been doing right there. And you can see the glitter a little bit in the video, hopefully, from the pen. But they are super pretty, so I definitely recommend the Wink Stella pen. And then here I am. I decided to use the masking, try it out, and here I didn't use the masking. I decided to try and go over it and seeing what it looked like, but it didn't turn out. So then I broke out the masking to try to add some grass on the bottom so that it kind of looks like they're not just floating. So I tried it, and apparently my paper was possibly still wet when I tried to remove it, so it ripped the paper. So someone recommended looking to make sure that your paper's not wet and then try it out, so I'll have to try that again. But that's my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, and definitely check me out on Instagram underneath Brandy Gabbert. Talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful craft.